Alrighty. Hey, how you guys doing? I know it's my time zone is early in the morning. It's been a minute since I've did the last recording. Not a long time, but let's check this out. I had some students ask me. We're talking about adults and teenagers from kids from actually even ninth grade all the way up 10, 11, 12, and as well as college. But the common thing I'm hearing is, hey, can you go over Python, specifically Turtle, because we're trying to do some things, things that are related to game development as well as statistics. So I'm just gonna do some things here where we're gonna start from scratch and try maybe build a breakout game. I don't know if we have time. So I'm gonna try not to go too fast, but fast enough, if I can say that. So let me see. I have my window up, and I'm checking my chat. Hold on. I'm checking my chat here. I gotta do this. Okay, all right. So again, if you see me turning my head, I'm looking at chat to the right side because I had a couple folks on this, and I missed one and I caught the other, and it was a great conversation. So if not, if I don't get anybody on this one, that's okay. But what I do is whatever I have live, I do upload to the YouTube channel. And again, I'm just doing this for fun and also to help my students. And I like to share. I like to share information. So right now we're looking at you have Visual Studio Code. Now, if you don't have Visual Studio Code installed on your computer, you can look at the previous videos. We'll talk about how to install Visual Studio Code, how to set up extensions. So in this case, we're going to set up extensions. Well, we're not setting up extensions. I'm assuming that, well, no, we're not gonna install any extensions. We're just gonna go straight with basic Python. And again, with basic Python, we have Turtle, which is a data visualization program, which is crazy, right? When I was younger, tell you my age, was used for just to create an app. That's what it was. It's to create a program, to simulate a program. And people over time, you want to test the limits, created games. Created games. So what we're gonna do, let's create a new file. And we'll file save as. All right, and yeah, let's put it in my stats folder. We'll put it in my stats folder right here. Okay, so if you guys don't see it, I'll zoom in. I'll zoom in. I'll put it in my stats folder, right? Because then we'll call it. We'll just leave it there. All right, so we'll call it my gaming. Yeah, let's call it my gaming. Doesn't matter. And don't forget .py. Okay, my gaming. Now I got this microphone, so I'm trying to make sure sound professional, so it's like covering my keyboard a little bit. So I have this. Let me see. Double check. I'm doing good. All right. Looks good. I can see everything. All right. Just want to make sure I'm streaming. All right, and there's nobody in the chat. All right. So what I'm gonna do is, let me move this back. All right. So with Python, what's great about Python, like it's like almost like a normal language type program. It's I'm not gonna say as simple as it gets. It's used for analyzing data, and with all these various forms of libraries, you can do a whole bunch of stuff, but also play games. So, hey, so we know about 3 plus 2. You know, if I run it, just to make sure my thing is working. Oof. All right, I got 5. All right, I'm good. I'm ready to go. So let's start off right here. Well, Turtle is a data visualization engine that allows you to kind of create windows. You can put some colors, get people's attention on what's being displayed and what's being shown. So in order to start using it, we need to import Turtle. And I should have had the mic like on the overhead. So I'm hoping everyone can hear me very well. So I'm just moving to the mic a little closer, try to make sure I'm not out of the camera. All right, so here we go. All right, so that's what we have, okay, with Turtle. So now if I play it, it's not gonna do anything. Play it, there's nothing there, right? Okay, there's nothing there. So what I'm gonna do, and how you can tell I'm not being used, it's like a dark green. It eliminates, illustrates that I'm not using it. I'm using resources. So I'm gonna do screen. I'm creating a variable, screen turtle, turtle dot screen. Keep in mind, Python is case sensitive. This is just a variable. That's why you see this is blue, and this is actually a function. Okay, it's a function. And with this function, I have options. I have it's going to run a program. So again, if I change this to small s, it's something different. Capital S, boom, there you go. Now again, if I do this, if I hit play, so what happens? You see a blink, right? See a blink. That's my window. That's my window. If I want to keep it open, dot done. Total dot done keeps it open. Okay, keeps it open. So it's huge. And depending how your screen is set up, if you have one of the ultra wide screen like I have right now, default window would pop up. Again, it's kind of interesting how it goes. So I have this. Okay, so again, simple. Now, let's close this. Now that is great. Now, if I want to put some colors, whatever, or set my specific screen size, let's say, remember what I said? Oops. Dot setup. Now, why do I screen dot setup? I don't feel like typing this whole thing all over again. I could just use this, and then see all my options. So right now I'm looking at the setup of my screen. So, and this is why I like the extensions and plugins, because if you can't remember certain things, it'll tell you like, hey, you have this option, this stuff. All right, so I'm gonna do my width, let's say 900, and if I want to do my height, okay, equals 500. Okay, so this will give me a specific size window. Okay, so poof, and there's my window, kind of small relative to my screen. Okay, so I got my window. All right, so I got my width, poof. All right, now on your screen may be huge. Okay, so it depends what type of monitor you have. So I'm gonna do screen title. Okay, now I don't want to put names of actual games. I do that in the classroom for fun, but not putting live on. So Turtle Gaming Engine. Okay, and we'll call it the demo. Okay, this puts the actual title. Okay, so I got my window and I got a title at the top. Okay, so you see a title at the top. Woohoo! Okay, so you see the actual title. Boop, boop. Now let's say I want to do background color. .bg. All right, you can see it. Woo, you got a lot of background colors. And let's say you want to do black. Okay, because if you don't put any colors, the default is white. You do orange, all that type of stuff. So now I got a black background. Now you start thinking, space games, whatever. Now, again, orange. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Orange, cyan. Okay, you got a whole bunch of stuff you could use. Okay. So let's say I want to do. Let's just back to black. Make that the default color. Now, let's say I want to go through certain things. I want to go through a list of colors. Yeah, you could change colors. So in order to do that, you need to create what's called it's like an array. Well, it is an array, also known as a list. All right, so check it out. So let's color colors. Okay, and my square brackets initiates the container. Like in JavaScript, Java is curly bracket. Java is square brackets. JavaScript curly brackets. Other different languages, what type of list you have. So again, we'll have black. We have lowercase black. Oh my gosh, I can't spell today. orange, and we have yellow. Checking my thing here. Ooh, let's go green, dark green. I don't know if there's actual color. We'll find out now. Okay. So we got our list. Now keep in mind when you have a list, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 records, right? 5 different colors. But when you create a list, it's just like Excel, Access. Your first record is like your header. That's index 0. That's 0. So this actually starts at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So color index. Now you're probably wondering, why am I doing another variable called color index? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it loop, okay, through this. Okay, I'm going to have it loop through this. Because if I have a for loop, you won't even see the color. It'll go, you may see something like the first color and then the last color because it goes by so fast. So, and also so you guys can see it, we need to import another library. Let's call it time. This is going to allow us to kind of pause it a little bit. Okay. So let's create a for loop. Let's say for I. That's a generic variable. You can pick anything you want. My count, my repeat. So let's say for I in range. Now if I do it 5 times, okay, and you'll notice I have a colon here. That colon initiates do, okay? Like I'm gonna do, like if this happens, then do this. For this, do this. All right, so if it meets the condition, it's gonna do it. And then hit enter. Do not hit the space bar because you can be off some and the next line's off, and then you're gonna get error. Like right now here, you see a red line. My software editor is assuming that, hey, is this supposed to be indented over? Like if I indent it over? Okay, no, because it's looking for the next line. Okay, so let's say I do screen, okay, that be color, all right, and then I have like what color am I going to use? In this case, I'm going to use this. I can't do colors because it thinks it's the whole thing. Okay, I want it to do one record at a time. So and then so if I do this, all right, if I do colors, and I do okay, and then I do a pause time dot sleep, okay, and I'm gonna do like maybe much time, 1 second. So it's gonna look at colors. It's gonna look at 0 because that's the first one. And then it's gonna go around. I will be 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll work. All right, because I have in range, I'm going up to 5. So let's check it out. Okay, so it changes and poof at the end. Okay, it changes and then it goes to the end. So you can do this. Now, here's the thing. Let's say I add a bunch of these and I don't know. Now, if I add this, I'm gonna get an error. So if I say red, okay, will it go to red? Let's say I had this at 4, okay. Will I see the dark green? Okay, I see the green, but it didn't go to dark green. So I didn't cycle through all the colors. So how do I go through that? So instead of I'll do len. Okay, no, not that. I would put it here. Okay, len colors. Okay, this would be the length of how many colors. Okay, so if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, all right, it'll do it 6 times. It'll go all the way to the end and stop. All right, so this stays the same. It'll do, so instead of 3 or 4 or 5, me updating this, it'll go the length of how many records, right? All right, so it goes all the way to the end. All right, so we got that going. All right, so you could go, you could loop, you could do all that type of stuff. Oops. All right, so that's just a loop. So again, that's you looping through colors. So we'll erase this, and we know we're getting our skills ready. But let's say I wanted to create it on a function. But yeah, we could do it later in this program. But what I'm gonna do is bring up, start kind of trying to draw some shapes. People are like, what? Yeah, we're gonna like check it out. So let's create a variable. Again, just creating a variable equals turtle. Now, what I'm gonna do is create what's called a marker or a pen, and it's gonna show a specific symbol. Okay. Now, by default, what this will kick in is like a Star Trek logo, and you can't see it here, okay, because by default it's black. So let's say I change this to, let's say, pink. Okay. See a little arrow right there. Okay. So that's that logo. But I gotta have my black. All right. So gotta have my black, but I won't see it. Well, change the color. What? Change the color. Okay. So let's say now, is it the color? I was wondering, is it greater dot? I'm gonna change the color. Just want to see if this works. It's gonna change the color and shape because it's so long ago I can't remember. There it is. It was white. Okay, so at least I could see it, right? You guys think, ooh, space game. But I don't want to show this yet. I want to hide it, all right? Because I want to display some stuff. I want to display something on the screen, right? And you're probably thinking, what do you want to display on the screen? Well, because if I do this, right? Writer, if I want to go writer, go to, this allows me to move my arrow. Okay, I'm going to move it. Now, your arrow, let me play this. I'm going to get an arrow because it's going to say go to where. Oh, let me comment this out for right now. Okay. Okay. Right now, I'm looking at a graph. So the center here is 0, 0. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring it all the way to the top. Okay. So it'll be 0, 100, 150, 200, 250. So if I go up to the top, so I'm going to be here. So think of your screen as one of those middle school, late elementary school, early high school, depending what school you went to, algebra. Okay. So let's go back here. Okay, so I'm gonna go to 0, 200. Okay, so I'm gonna move up. Okay, now what it did, it created a line. I don't want a line yet, so I'm gonna do what's called a pen up. So right now, by default, the pen is down. So I want to do a pen up. So before I move it, I'll do writer dot pen up. There it is, pen up. Oh, not pen size. Pen up. Okay, so what that does when I do a pen up, it moved it, no line. Okay, so oops, I made my screen too big. Okay, so, and I don't want to see that little arrow. Okay, so even though I have a white turtle, because I want to type something, I'll say writer dot hide. Yep, hide turtle. Okay, poof, poof. So it hides it. All right, so it's not there. I'm looking at my thing, nobody there. So you won't see it. It's weird. You won't see it. It's hidden, but it is up there. Okay. So I got that. So let's write something. Writer dot write. Okay. So we're gonna write something. Press. All right. Space. Okay. To change the background. Okay, color of the screen. I don't want to put it too large. It'd be crazy, right? Now that's gonna it's gonna type out. Now there's a lot of other parameters. You see all this? All right. So let's show it where it looks like, ew, look at that. It's like, oh, it's like real small, like, and it's not because of my screen, because I didn't change anything. So you can see by default, so it's what's gonna look like. So let's align, okay, center, okay, then font, okay, and let's say Arial. All right, so you have, so not only you could do your font stuff, whatever, you could add some things. You could change the size. Let's say 18. That's my font size, and let's make it bold. Oh, I said blood. Okay, hold on. Oh, no, I forgot my parentheses. Look at that. See where it is? Sorry. Parentheses. And oops. And close parentheses. Awesome. All right, so if I look at this, it's centered. Now I have press space to change the background color. Okay, so now it's aligned. Remember, I moved up, but as I typing, it's gonna basically stay center. I could do left, right, all that type of stuff, but it's gonna stay center. So it gives you some things. Now, remember how we changed the color? Okay, so you're probably thinking, okay, we're gonna be pressing the space bar or something like that to make it change the color. Yep, but you saw a for loop where it did it on its own, and then I used a timer. But this time, I'm using the space bar command. So what we want to do is create a function. We're gonna create a function, and we're gonna call it. Call it means run it. So whenever we need it. So think about it. If I tap the space bar, what do you want to do? Run a program, run a function, calling it. And it'll run through a list of instructions. All right, so check this out. Auto df change. I'm looking at my stream just to make sure everybody change. All right, and okay, bg. So again, I'm creating a function called change bg background, and it's a function. Okay, and remember, just like my for loop, okay. When I run it, what do you want it to do? That's where you get the colon, okay? That colon mark. So let me make this bigger. Okay, like last time, indent. It thinks turtle is the next. Now, I want this to work everywhere, okay? So no matter where I am in my program, or I can use it to call it from another Python file. Shut up! Okay, I wanna make it global. And my index, okay? Also, my index that I use up here, I'm gonna try to make it repeat, because if I hit space, I don't want it to stop at the end. I want it to recycle. Like what? I want it to recycle. Okay. So I got color index. I want to make that global, and color index. Now this is gonna be equal to color index plus 1. Okay, because now I'm not using a loop anymore, right? So it's gonna cycle through. Now, you know, of course, I have like 3, 5, 6, whatever. How do I get back to the beginning? So we're doing mod. And what am I doing mod against? The length of colors, okay? All right, so again, this is gonna allow me to repeat. So now check it out. Screen, remember we did this earlier, bg color, all right, colors. All right, now we're looking at colors, okay, but keep in mind, I don't have a for loop to put an I in here, right? How does it know to go to the next one, the next one, next one? All right, color index, okay, is going to the next one until it gets to the end. All right, and then it recycles. Here, I'm changing. I'm looking at my colors, okay? That's here, okay? But I need to know what number I'm gonna use, okay? Isn't that crazy? That's the color index. Poof. Okay? Because my color index is gonna change. All right? Awesome. All right, and I think that's about it. That's all it's gonna do, okay? And then from there, we got this function. Okay, that's our program. That's the function. All right. So how do we initiate it? How do we get our computer to wait for a space bar, up arrow, left arrow? Okay. So we want, first off, listen. Okay. Dot listen. There it is. This is a function in the library that allows the computer to kind of wait for things to use. Touch screen, your mouse, your keyboard. So it's waiting for certain things to occur. So it's listening. So screen. Okay. Now that means you have an option called on key. Ooh. On key taps, pressing it. Okay. And or releasing it. But then you got on click. All right, you have so many different options. So it's whatever you feel that's more user friendly or fluid, feels natural that you want to use, depending on what actions you want to be doing. Okay, now what are we gonna be pressing? Okay, so if I hit a key, and what am I gonna use? Spacebar, right? But if I hit a space bar, what do you want it to do? Like, look, the object and the actual key. So I want it to run my change background. Okay. And then I'm gonna use what key. See, now it's looking at what key symbol. Ooh, look, it's giving me an example. Space. Okay. So if I use my space bar, if I tap my space bar, it's gonna cycle through. And when it gets to the end, boom, it will restart. Okay, so here's my space bar. All right, so it's cycled through. Now, just this, you start getting some ideas like, yo, can we do something interesting? Oh yeah, you can start being a little more creative. I'm looking at the time, nobody in the chat. So a little bit more creative. You notice that we didn't even need to use time in here, okay? Because we're just cycling through. But let's say we wanted to some sound effects. Let's use Windows Sound, okay? Okay, and with this, and let's go into a function. So every time we change a color, we'll do a beep. All right, oh, there it is, beep. Now beep, it comes with parameters. The first is like two numbers. The first number is the tone, the frequency of your sound, and the next one is how long do you want it to play that sound for, and that's in milliseconds. So if you have 1,000 milliseconds, that's 1 second. 500 milliseconds, half a second. So let's say 300, that's a low pitch, and we want it at 500 milliseconds. Tap the bar. Okay, hold on. I can't even hear it on my end. Got this fancy headset, so when it's not being used, headset shuts off. Save energy. Okay, so that little tone, hey, not making fun of people, not ADA compliant. All right. So how do you know it's changing? You got hearing. You try to come up with other stuff. Okay. I don't know. Did I use that correctly? I just want to make sure. So, again, just you tapping the space bar, you could do a whole set of things. Okay. So we just created a game window. We cycled through colors, and we just added some beep. And the thing is, oh my gosh. Do we need time? So you can see how you're going through some things, and you can say, I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna use that. So right now you're like, I don't need this, import this, try to save some space, and go for it. All right. So check this out. So what else? What if I want to do something else? Like if I can hit tap the space bar, can I move my thing around? Can you move a block, whatever? Oh my gosh, you can. So remember here, I had a turtle and I blacked it out. So let's say we don't want to hide the turtle, right? You want to say have a specific shape. Remember, by default, it's the arrow. So let's check this out. So writer shape. Okay. All right. So in this case, what shapes do I have? Now, I'm trying to remember. You have the arrow. You have an actual shape of a turtle. Okay. It's a little turtle. You have a circle, square, triangle. All right. Ooh, what is classic? I don't remember classic. All right. Let's try classic. Okay. I'm trying to remember what classic was. Classic's the arrow. Oh, man. I could remember what classic was. But in this case, oh, some people say, is it a turtle? Yeah. All fun and shoots and giggles. Yep, it's an actual turtle. Okay, it's an actual turtle. But in this case, what I want to do is let's call it square. People are like, what? Yeah, I'm gonna call it square. Why? Because we're gonna change the shape. Okay, change the shape and size. So check it out. So writer dot shape size. Shape, right? There it is, shape size. All right. And in this case, remember it's width. All right. So if you're not sure where you're going, you got shape size, resize model. So you have so many different options of how you want to set this up. So I always tell folks, hey, if you don't remember, start typing and that's what I love about the extensions. Stretch, length. See the length? Ooh, and then you see width. You see it, right? So let me see the width. Let's say the width is going to be like, I don't know. Let's say 3. And then we do the length. 2. Or should I say length 3? What is this going to look like? I want it the other way around. Okay. So let's say 4, and this will be 2. Oops. Be 2. So I got, you can see what I'm going to be doing. And guess what? I don't need press the space bar. Let's get rid of this. I don't write anymore. All right. So, and I still have my pen up. Okay. So I have my pen up, but I'm going to go to the bottom. Okay. I'm going to go to the bottom. All right. So instead of 200, I want my block at the bottom. So let's say minus 150. Is that cool? Ooh, yeah. All right, set the bottom. Now, I got my shape size, my color, it's white. Okay. So I'm moving things around. I still have my function. I'm probably gonna change this. I could reuse it, but I'm gonna move it down because what I want to do is I want to move my block around. Okay, I don't want to change colors. I want to move my block around. So I just want to make sure everything's okay. And since I'm not writing anything, let's change some stuff. All right. Now, the only reason I'm changing this is because if you're writing a program and you get up and move and you go somewhere else, then the next person comes in, they're like, what did you do? I don't understand this. Why is this variable? So let's call it the player. I don't even want to call it player shape. So I always tell students, when you create variables, oh, by the way, you could also highlight, use the function key. Well, it's like a special hotkey, and you can highlight anything that says writer. You could change it to player. So I'll show you guys next time. All right. So, but anyway, so when you create a variable or name of functions, if you're not putting comments in certain places, then at least let the variable be named with what it's being used for. Okay. So anyway, all I did was player. I don't have anything here. Okay. player shape, I have my shape, I have my size, I have player color, but I got a list up here, right? So since I don't have a for loop, I'll change that, all right? And that's gonna be my player colors. Ooh, player colors. Let's change that. Player colors, all right? So it's my player colors. So what I'll do is I'll get rid of this, okay? And oops, player colors. Okay, and of course, just like my color index, right? Color index. Where's my color index? Okay, so it gives me the ability to cycle through. By default, it's gonna be looking at black. Okay, it's gonna be looking at black. All right. I don't know if I want black anymore. Let's put like cyan, light blue. All right, and cyan is this, by the way. So I have that. I might have my pen up, so I can move things around. So, and then right now I want to do movements, right? I'm going to do movements. So when you create your screen, just to let you know, when you move your screen, it's moving, and think of pixels. 1 pixels, like really slow, 30, whoop, 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 whoop. So it'll like stretch real fast, like it'll go whoop. All right. So so think of pixels. Those are steps. So let's create a variable. Let's call it step. Now, I'd be careful. Like I said, when you do variables, be very careful, because you may be using something that's probably a function or it's being used somewhere else. So be careful what variables you're using. So let's say 10 steps at 10 pixels. All right. And then we're going to say, we'll start from there. All right. So that's going to do our movements. So I'm going to create a function. So that means if I hit something, I want that block to go left or right. So if I hit something, so let's call it, let's create a new function called move, let's say move left. Okay. And it's like, what is it going to do? Well, keep it simple. X going left, right? And what I'm going to do is player, okay, that's here, and X coordinate. Remember, we're like a graph, right? Oh, and just to let you know, so what it looks like. All right, so this is used to go left, right, but you also have coordinate on the X axis, all right? So I'm using that player X coordinate, this shape X coordinate, and I'm gonna move it to left minus step. Okay, that's going to left, all right? So, yeah, that's good. All right, so then I'm gonna create one for right. Move right. Oops. To the right, let's call this Y. Let's call it Y. Actually, Y is going up. X equals player dot X coordinate. I'm like getting ahead of myself, right? Plus step. Okay. So this, if I run it, if I hit something, it's gonna go left. If I hit something, it's gonna go right. Everybody okay so far? All right. So remember my keys, right? So if I look to the bottom, now here's telling warnings because I changed colors to player colors, right? Remember I was talking about like how, if you highlight a variable, you can have it change everywhere on your screen. Okay, that's why it's so important. So all right, so I have it listening. I have an on key change background space. I can leave it. I can use it for something else. Okay, screen. Okay, dot on key. Okay. Okay, on key. What am I gonna use? Move left. Okay, move left. Now, when to move left, what am I doing? The left key. Everybody's like, what? That's my left arrow. That's my left arrow. And then I'll do on key. All right, move right. Okay, and that'll be right. Okay, so I have my left, right. Now to change the color, that's the background color. We didn't even do that yet. But let's say I want to change the color of my shape, right? So what did I have up here? Color. Ooh, okay. So I could say Bing screen. Okay. Dot on key. Okay. And this will be. I'm changing the color. So we change. No, hold on. I'm trying to think. I want to do this, but I can't run a variable. I need to create a program to change that. So that's this. Know how I had changed background color? Well, I'm gonna do one for change the color shape because I'm using this. I could do that. I could reuse this. I could change this again. So a color index. Got here. I already changed it to player colors. So instead of change background, so again, we'll call this change player color. Okay. So that means this needs to go change color and say space, hit the letter C. Okay. Because I may be using that for something else. So I knew I was gonna need that for something. I was gonna try to do something else at the same time. Background colors. So I got change player. Okay. That's this. Color index. I'm using this player colors. And you could use this for a whole bunch of stuff. You could say colors and just reuse that shit. You didn't even have to change the variable name. And it's gonna beep every time I change the color. So, this is what I did. See, it says background color. I need to change that because that's still background color. And what am I changing? Okay, check this out. So it's not screen. It's player. Okay, and player dot colors. Okay. Oh, color. All right. And I got player color index. Color index. Yep, I'm good. I'm good. All right. So move right, left. Boom. I think it should be good. Let's play. Right. Right, left. It's not moving. Okay, so this is not moving. So what am I doing wrong? All right, so I have hit the left key, left, right, dev, left, right. Try to think. I have it stepping now. Check it out. This is where your thing comes in. I have it stepping. So let's see if this. You know what? I didn't set X. Duh. I didn't set X. So I should go player dot set X. And I need to do that down here too. Player dot set X. Because I changed the variable. But I didn't tell it to change the set the new coordinates. Oops, I forgot my set X here. I was wondering why it wasn't working. I saw it go left, but I wouldn't go right. Left. Now, this is why I said by on key, right? And I have to keep tapping my space bar. I mean, my left arrow. You could change this. Let's say on key press. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to do it down here. So you guys can see, kind of play with it and see. Like I said, it's how you want your viewer, your gamer to use it. All right, so this is on key press, right? I can still tap, or I could just leave my finger down. And this one, I have to tap it, but I can't leave my finger down. So I got tap. With this one, leave my finger down. So again, you can still tap it. It just depends on what the feel and look do you want. Now, check it out. Left. I'm out of bounds. Okay, I'm out of bounds. Like, where did it go? So let's say you want to put some boundaries. Okay, let's say you want to put some boundary. So now boundaries would change based on the size of your screen, right? So let's go left, bound. And what was my screen size? 900, right? So you look at 450. Now, depending on the big of the block, right? It's the center of the block, it'll be off. So let's say 400. So minus 400. We could push the envelope. Let's say 420. It could really be on the edge. And then right bound equals 420. Now, what I'm gonna do is my value, right? If my value is less than left bound, like if it's minus 430, it'll stop, okay? And right bound, same thing. So I need to put an if statement in there. So I don't want to change the coordinate yet, okay? You want to do it like before this. Like I'm assigning X, but you don't want to set your coordinate yet. So I need to do an if statement here. So I'll do say if X is less than, all right, left bound, all right. What do you want it to do? Okay, X equals left bound. That means I can't go lower. If I try to go lower, I'm still gonna stay at left bound. It's gonna stay there. And let's say you want to do an error. You know how you mess up? So you're not sure if you're at the edge. Like, we'll have a beat. So that's a high-pitched voice. I mean, not high-pitched voice. High-pitched sound. Let's do like 100 milliseconds. All right, that's like a tenth of a second. So it's like, beep. That's how you know you hit a bump. All right. Else. All right. Now, do we need an else? No, we don't need an else. Okay, we can, but we don't. All right, so let's check it out. We're gonna check left. Now you can see my block is going further. So what I want to do is, instead of 420, 400. That's why I say you could push the boundaries. So I got my left boundary and right's off. So what I did here, I would do it here too. Okay. So if X is greater than right bound, we wanted to do X is equal to right bound, and we'll do Winsound. Okay. Dot beep. Okay, 800, comma 100. Now, you could have done, like, you know how we do a win beat? You could have actually put that as a function too. Like, instead of just typing all this, type one word in a function. So you can see how you get better at this. You want to kind of shorten the length of you writing, typing stuff. You can just boom, 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 boom. So I got Winsound. So I got my right. It's over. Okay. So again, you would adjust. When you adjust the window size, you would adjust your left bound, right bound. You can make it fixed, or you can make your left bound, right bound resize as your screen resize. So you could create all that type of stuff to kind of make it very comfortable for the user. Okay. So that's my left and that's my right. Okay. So we got that going. So we got beeps playing, this and that. So yo, what about the colors? Color by shade. Can I do that? We didn't test that. Okay. So again, you're testing different features where you can do certain things. Left, right, up. Well, we didn't do up, left, right, but you could do up too. All right, so move thing, but you can see where we're going at. Like try to do a breakout. Like, oh, I see where you're going with this. I see where you're going with this. So that's it for this episode, this session. I'm gonna come on a little bit later. If not, it's gonna be tomorrow. That's Sunday, where we're gonna create movement, more movements. So we're gonna do left, right. But then we're gonna have blocks. Like we're gonna have blocks at the top and move a ball. It's gonna be looks like a paddle. And we're gonna actually create breakout. So again, this is what has happened over time. Because I remember when I was in 8th grade, you know, you're writing code to print certain things, print words, this, that. Then you learn about a term called a function called random. And then you start thinking, yo, if I could create a list of situations, I could create like an adventure game and it'd be different for everybody. Say, hey, your name is John. And then it'll say, you put your age in, and based on your age, it'll pick a different list at random based on your age. And it says, hey, you're a warrior, this and that, and you're traveling, the earth, and there's mountains. Where somebody else, there's mountains, you're in a desert. Somebody else, you're in a rainforest. And it's all doing it random, a different situation. Those were adventure word games we were doing when I was in 8th grade. So you look at 13 years old, 12, 13 years old. And then next thing you know, you wanted to put pictures, and then you got background pictures popping up. And next thing you know, you're creating a line, just a dot moving around a random maze, and the storyline on the right side. And then that dot becomes colors. And that's how we were pushing, and this is what's happening worldwide. Everybody's pushing the envelopes and just doing things for entertainment. And the gaming world comes out. So, but again, always pushing the boundaries. So, the next session, I'll come on Sunday. Today is Saturday. I'll come out tomorrow, and that'll be the next session where we're gonna go, where we're gonna create. Well, you should already know. Play around, move the block going up and down. We're gonna create other blocks at the top, and we're gonna have a movie block moving at random. And then we're gonna have it hit the paddle. All right, that's an old classic breakout. And then that should be good and fun. And then the schedule I'm trying to see if we could do is, hey, we could create an old classic Space Invaders. So anyway, thanks for anybody watching. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitch. Subscribe on me on YouTube. So I try to do live on Twitch, and I take the recordings, I put it on YouTube. The more folks that follow me on Twitch, I'll be able to leave the videos there. It'll be there on demand where you guys can download them and save them. If not, go to YouTube. So again, I'm just doing this for fun, having fun, and sharing my knowledge with folks, and try to make it as easy as possible so people can learn to get from that beginner to that intermediate and hopefully that advanced level. So other than that, see you guys later, and enjoy, and be careful and be safe out there.